This is Steve Spangenberg once again with my good friend Dr. Jim Will. And we're going to talk about something that's very interesting today.
Sensitive too.
Sensitive. And it is about rejection. And you notice I'm rejecting Jim right now. How do you feel right now, Jim?
Well, pretty good.
Pretty good? I kind of like that. But you know, it's funny because we
Some
never...
people you want to reject you, and others it does hurt.
It does hurt. It does hurt. But this is what happens to us. This is a scenario. I'm going to paint the scenario for you, and then we're going to have Dr. Jim help you get over this rejection issue. And what happens is, okay, we trot along. We're a functional family, 2 kids, white picket fence, the whole bit, and here we are, and we hear buzz saws in the background, which is really cool. So this is true. This is a real video shot by real people. So we get into network marketing, direct sales, and all of a sudden we find out that we can be rejected. Because we go to our family and friends, and the first thing we go to our meeting and they say, this is a great product, we believe in it, or a great service, we believe in it, we want you to go and share it. Okay, that's probably the big thing, is that they say there's no selling involved, which is...
Got to go sell yourself.
Got to go sell. Nothing happens in this world till something is sold, all right? So, you know, they say, go share this with your family and friends, and what happens is, we go out there, we're all pumped up, and we go out and share with our families and friends, and they say, no. And then we feel rejected. You know,
and the other one, Steve, I think is when you're sitting there, and first of all, you didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Somebody finally got you there in front of this information. Now then you go, hey, it is pretty cool. This is great.
Yeah.
And you go, man, you know, Johnny Jack would be great for this. And you've already convinced yourself that he's going to join, or he should, or if he did, he would knock it out of the ballpark. Well, we run over to Johnny Jack. Hey, Johnny Jack, you're not only crazy, but no. And I call it, you know, boom, right there. It really, really does hurt. And I don't think anybody that's been successful in any business, in sports or business or network marketing, MLM, direct sales, any of those things, can honestly say that they've never had an emotion of rejection. And it can be, it hurts. I think you could actually get a physical punch, and you know, you go, okay, it'll hurt me but that emotional punch of the rejection, that really does take it out of you, and it can cost you your business. Absolutely. It really can. So we want to help you to get over that, and I don't want you to go looking for the rejection, but expect that it may happen. And if it starts to happen, I think one of the best things, Steve, is timing. I can't help but think years ago, back in the mid-'80s, about 86, I believe, my father died. We had just gone, it was his burial, and I got a call when I got home from laying him to rest, and it was somebody wanting to sell me on a new business, network marketing business. And he said, how you doing? And I said, well, okay, but, you know, I mean, we just, you know, put my father to peace and rest. And he said, oh, that's too bad. I got to tell you about this. And I'm like, wait a second, did you hear? And what my point here is, too many times we got to be cautious of this. We think we got the best thing here, and we want to go show it to somebody. But if Steve is not in the right mindset, and if the timing is not right for Jim or whoever, back off. Yeah. You know, if you're committed to this, you're going to have plenty of time, and then maybe change your strategy right there in the middle of things. Jim, what could I do to help you? Well, we don't have any food, or we've got too much food over here. Why don't you just come on over and be with us and have some food? And you kind of drop what you're doing. There's an old saying, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So nobody cares that you got the greatest new mousetrap or any of that stuff until they know that you really do care about me. I really do care about Steve. And if they do feel that way, you're gonna get their attention. So please be cautious not to set yourself up for rejection.
Right.
Okay?
And tell us a little bit about what our talk is around, and this is what I see, and this is actually what I've experienced because I've been involved in direct sales now since I was about 16, and I'm 50 now, so you can do the math. It's been a long time. But I remember my first opportunity I saw, I went, oh, like that. I was off the charts. I was like, this is going to be it. So I go with this high expectations and high enthusiasm. What can be our self-talk around when we first see an opportunity? What are we going to tell ourselves so that we don't get set up for rejection? And if people do say a no, what's our self-talk going to be around that? What should we be telling ourselves?
You can give yourself a sneak preview through visualization. You can go ahead and practice how you're going to respond. And what comes to my mind is one of the, and I imagine that there's a lot of coaches that coach their football players. If they score a touchdown, you know how you see some of them that'll just go through all kinds of antics and showmanship and dances. Rituals and all those things. That's fine. However, there's some that'll score a touchdown and may even win the Super Bowl, and they just kind of go over and toss the ball to the. Now, to me, that guy just told me, well, another day at the office. No big deal. The guy that does all that stuff, is it his first touchdown?
It could be.
So how do we want to be seen by somebody after we, take a deep breath and understand that when you go out to see somebody, timing is important, and then the question to ask ourselves. I work with lawyers and with their clients to help them prepare for deposition and for trial. And we ask their clients, how do you want to be seen by the jurors? And who's your jury? Your jury is going to be the person down the block, your neighbor, your relative, somebody. And the question to ask yourself is, how do I want to be seen by Steve? And do I want to be seen as some bozo that comes out and goofy and we're going to make $1 jillion and all that stuff? Especially if Steve's a pretty savvy and been successful in business, then you're going to, now, you may want to change hats, be a chameleon, and then somebody else you may want to, but you're always going to be yourself. Be yourself, and there's nothing wrong with messing up. Don't worry about it. Be yourself, be honest, go back and say, send a text, email, and say, Steve, I am sorry, I called you today, and I was so excited about this that I neglected to tell you how sorry I was about your situation right now. Right. And be honest, and people will accept that.
Okay, and a good question is to ask somebody, even if you call them or whatever, say, hey, is this a bad time for you?
I agree.
The thing is, when we get phone calls from telemarketers and even our friends and stuff, they're expecting us to say, is this a good time? Okay, so we've been programmed over the years to go through this ritual of, hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Hi, is this a good time? Yeah, oh yes, all right, okay, go ahead. No matter if it's a good time or not, we've been programmed to go through that. So what you have to do is interrupt that pattern of, you say, is this a bad time? And what that does is there's a pattern in their head and it's thrown it off. And they say, oh, well, yeah, it is a bad time. Well, fantastic. What is a good time that I can call you again? But you have to have, like Dr. Jim said, what are we telling ourselves all the time? What is our talk, our visualization? Look back on the YouTube channel and see the video on visualization and watch that, listen to it, or avail yourself to Dr. Jim's toolkit so that you can learn these self-talk things and get your head right. How about it?
I agree with you. And one of the things, tag on to what Steve just said, if I call somebody and I say, hi, Fran, how are you doing? Fine. you can, if you're really in tune with this, you can kind of tell, if you know her well enough, that, oh, she sounds like something's a little edgy, she's busy or something. And what I do, along with what you just said, I'll say, Steve, is this a good or a bad time? And I give them an escape route. And I know there's times in which I want him to say, yeah, this is a good time, what you got on your mind? But there are times which Steve might say, Jim, it's not very good, the plumber's here, we just, and I go, fine. And I say, you want me to call you or you want to call me back? Give me an hour and call me back. And I'll do that. And so again, it's caring about the other person and finding out. And if you're really of service to your customers, to your downline, to your people, it's going to come back to you, and you're setting the pace. The people in your organization are going to do exactly what you do. They'll follow your tempo. So make sure that you're setting the right stage and the right setting.
Absolutely, and I just want to say thanks again for another awesome interview. And if you want to get your head right, so that you can get your wallet right and your life right, just avail yourself to Dr. Jim's toolkit, self-talk toolkit there, and just punch the website below, and you make it a productive day.
Thank you.
Good to stay like this for now until we can edit this video